Okay, so we have this first example of specific conduct involving conflicts of interest, that is, contracts with the corporation, explained on page 622. The other ways that directors can get themselves into hot water is by what we call interceptions of corporate opportunities. As the book points out, a different situation, and I'm looking at page 623, a different situation arises when a director learns of a corporate opportunity and keeps it for herself. This could be buying property, investing in another company, or selling assets. What this means is this, is that if I'm on the board of directors of a mining corporation, and because of me being a director of the corporation, I learn about a possible mine somewhere in Canada that is going to make a lot of money, and the owners of that mine want to sell it. I can't, if I'm the director of a mining company, I can't go and buy that mine for myself and profit from that. I have to get the mine for the company that I'm a director for. I have to give it to that company. I have to give that opportunity to that corporation, so that if I find out about a mine, say in British Columbia, that's going to make money and they want to sell that mine, I have to say to my corporation, my board of directors, look, I found out about a mine in BC that I think we should have a look at and buy. If I don't do that and I buy it on my own and I make money, my corporation can sue me, and I will have to give them, if I still own the mine, I'll have to sell them, or not sell it, but give the mine to the corporation. Or if I've sold the mine or whatever, I have to give them the profits I made on the transaction. A little difficult to understand this, but the whole thing is this is called a conflict of interest. I'm stealing an opportunity that should go to my corporation. I'm taking it for myself and profiting from it. This is explained on page 623. For example, if a director has received a mandate to act as an agent for the corporation to purchase a specific piece of property or a particular type of property, she's under the same duty as placed on any agent. She has to get that property for her principal. If she buys the property for herself, she's breached her duty. The property is deemed to be held in trust for the corporation, or if she sold the property, any profit that she's made has to be given over to the corporation. And the corporation, you know, these people just don't give it over there. They get sued and they have to give the profit to the corporation. A very similar type of conflict arises when you get into competition with your corporation. This is explained on page 624. This is, let's look at this case on page 624, case 626.5, consulting on the side it's called, but this is a case that I want you to read. It's a real case that went to court. O'Malley was a director of Canaro, a corporation specializing in aerial surveying. He was hired to work on a project for the corporation in Guyana, during which he learned a lot about the terrain and made some useful contacts. He subsequently resigned from Canaro, forms his own corporation, and makes a bid on a surveying contract with the government of Guyana. Well, his company found out about that. Canaro found out, and they sued him, and they said, hey, you should have got that bid for us and that contract for us. You just can't quit and set up another corporation and take that from us. He was held to be in breach of his fiduciary duty to Canaro and accountable to them for his profit on the contract. So read that case 26.5 and try to understand that. Now, sometimes if I'm a director of a corporation and I find out about an opportunity or whatever it might be that should be given to my corporation, if I give that opportunity to my corporation and they say they don't want it, Like, for example, if I find out about a mine in British Columbia, and I say, look, here's an idea, or probably a good gold mine, do you want to buy it? And the board of directors turns it down, then it may very well be that I can take it up for myself and buy it for myself. But I have to at least offer it to my corporation first, and see if they want it. If they want it, they take it, then it's gone. They've got it. And that's the way I act honestly and in good faith and with integrity towards the corporation. If they don't want it, then it very well could be that I can take it up. Another way a director or an officer of a corporation can get into trouble is by way of what we call insider trading. This is spelled out on page 625. If I'm a director or an officer of a corporation, I may very well own shares in the corporation. There's nothing wrong with that. But if I buy or sell shares of my corporation, if I buy more or I sell ones that I already have, on the basis of what we call insider knowledge about some event, then that's quite bad. I could go to jail for that, and I could have to pay any profit that I made over to the corporation, and so on, because I'm trading on. Now, this only really happens to mostly in publicly traded corporations. For example, where let's say a director of Royal Bank of Canada finds out that the financial statements are coming out in a few weeks, and he knows that they're going to show a loss, or that the financial statements aren't going to show as good quarter of the year as everyone thought they would, and I sell some shares based on that knowledge. That's called insider trading. I can't do that. If I do that, I can be fined, I can go to jail, and all sorts of stuff like that. So, and also if I'm not only a director, but I'm an officer, if I'm a senior vice president or controller or something, the same thing applies. The book points out these, an example of insider trading for a small company under illustrations 26.2, and then a larger company under B part of illustration 26.2. You have a publicly traded scenario. Have a look at illustration 26.2, and it will show you the various forms in which insider trading can occur. In each of these cases, the book points out, the director or an officer used confidential information that came to her in her capacity as director for her own benefit